The final section on your color worksheet page is this ribbon. A couple things to remember. We're going to be coloring it with a monochromatic color scheme. That means one color. So here's the color I've chosen. That means you can also create tints by adding white and shades by adding black. Remember, the difference between a shade and a shadow is a shade you use black and a shadow you use the complementary color. These are all ways to tone down color. You can see I've already started to color this ribbon for the sake of time, but looking at the contour, I started at the bottom left here and moved towards the top right, and you can see the curve that started to change because of this contour. Same thing here, I started down here on the bottom right and moved up towards the top left, trying to show the contour. And I've added multiple layers of this blue already. Now, when looking at your monochromatic ribbon, especially up here at the top, you can see the contour is moving left to right. So to follow this contour and to create a tint, right here in the center we have what's called a highlight. That's where the light gets right on top of the object, and so the light is reflecting off of the topmost part of that object. So I'm going to use a little bit of white, following the kind of contour. Notice I didn't go all the way to the edge. And then I can pick up my blue. I can start following the contour. And I'm going to start lightly and move towards that center bit. I can always add more layers later. But to start off, I'm following the contour going towards the center. And you can come over to this side and do the same thing. Moving in that contour, you can tell when your pencil is going to hit the white, and you need to add a little bit of color inside of there. You want that highlight to look like it's reflecting the light. So very gently, just adding some color along there. Following the contour, add a little bit deeper blues over here in the corner and let that lightly blend over. You can see how you're starting to create that highlight section. When creating a shade with this, you're going to go down, use some black. Remember, black comes after you've added the target color, so we're going to lightly start adding in that color to create this shade. Right underneath can get a little darker, but we're not pushing with our black. We're very lightly just letting the colored pencil move across, not using pressure here. And you can start to see that come together. Same thing here. A little bit less of the black right here because of how the color is hitting this side of the ribbon. Very lightly to begin with. Right underneath a little bit. Take some blue and just blend in again. A little bit right there. I'm also going to need to do some right here, but you can see how using a little bit of white and a little bit of black can help increase and enhance your monochromatic ribbon. Now that I've taken some time to finish coloring my ribbon, you can see that blending with a little bit of white and also the blue can start to create that nice shiny effect of a highlight, and adding in some of the shades to create more depth and make your ribbon look more three-dimensional. Because remember, when we add value to shape, we are able to create a three-dimensional looking object. So this has started to create a more three-dimensional looking ribbon by adding tints and shades using monochromatic colors.